Hello and good morning, everyone. I see many people are joining, so I think we can start this session, this episode of Digital Skills Talks. Um, in the meantime, we are waiting that other people are connecting, but I think I can present myself. I'm Gabriele Casalini, Tech Project Officer at the European Digital SME Alliance, and today I will guide you through this episode of Digital Skills Talks. Today's theme is cultivating the future, transforming agri-food through skills and education. So for today, grab your coffee, grab your breakfast, and stay tuned about this theme. A bit of context on the Digital Skills Talks. This is a format organized by the Digital Skills and Job Platform, and this episode take online from 9:30 to 10. It's a 30-minute format in which we are joined by experts in the field, and we talk about topics such as AI, virtual worlds, cybersecurity, blockchain, and others such as digital data, and today agri-food with a focus on digital skills. So today it's my pleasure to host two experts in agri-food, Maarten van der Kamp, which is the director of EIT Food, and also Raffaele Giaffreda, Chief Innovation Scientist at the Fondazione Bruno Kessler. So I would jump straight into the talks, as of course today's episode will be on agri-food, and I would give the floor to Maarten with a very specific question. So EIT, as we all know, EIT Food is dedicated to transforming food system into more sustainable, health-focused, transparent and resilient entities. So can you tell us a bit more about the role of education and especially digital skills within EIT Food overall vision and mission?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning to you all. And first of all, well, a very big thank you for having me. Pleasure to talk to everybody this morning. So, interestingly, we as EIT Food, we're the only innovation instrument that puts education central, and so education skills building is really part of our core mission that we're. And so this means that on the one hand, we've got a fantastic platform to work on skills and to actually sort of make it clear that there are particular skills gaps that we need to focus on. But also because we as an innovation agency, we're of course talking about the skills that are relevant to drive innovation forward. And digital skills are absolutely key to this. So we've got our own competence framework, our kind of compass of the skills that we are looking at. And we're finding digital skills in actually many of the 8 that we've got. And it really is most obvious, of course, when you think about where in data management, what's happening in AI, what's happening in big data, etc. But you also find it in other places. So what emerging technologies are coming up onto the market, and how could, for example, farmers use particular kind of technologies that are completely digitally enabled. So, for example, if you want to do sort of have a picture of your farm, then of course drone technology is coming in, soil sampling is coming in, and there is this integration of all the data that needs to be done in this as well. But also, if we look more on the communication, the leadership, the entrepreneurship side of things, the presence of AI has absolutely sort of transformed the way that people can start thinking about what might be their business model. How do you communicate to audiences, etc. And so for us, we see digital skills everywhere. And then the question is, how do we incorporate this in a way that actually supports that innovation drive? Now, I think so. There are a couple of different things to highlight there, and just by an example. So we've got the dominant where we work is in postgraduate education and professional education, and all of our programs will have dimensions in as I highlighted above. But then we've also been working, for example, with youth. And so we've been running a program together with Junior Achievement, where the skills are entrepreneurship skills, but then looking at AI and the application of AI specifically. And so this is fun for us that we never would train specifically on digital skills only. It would always be connected with those other skills to also then immediately put those skills into practice and to play around with technology and to see kind of where does that lead us.
Thank you very much, Maarten. I think it was a very, very comprehensive and interesting take, and fully agree with the role, especially of digital technologies, AI especially, that can be applied in the agri-food sector. And remaining on the topic, I wanted to switch to Raffaele, and I wanted to give you, please, some context about the EU project that you are leading in the agri-food sector, which is called AgrifoodTEF, because it fits very well in our conversation today, because you are supporting companies that are testing and validating solutions in AI and robotics in real-world facilities. So can you explain a bit to us how it works, and especially how digital skills can support this digital transformation?
Yes, thank you, Gabriele. Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you again for having me. So AgrifoodTEF, as you said, TEF stands for Testing and Experimentation Facilities. So this is a Digital Europe program project that has started in 2023. It's been running for 2.5 years almost now, and will be finishing in the end of 2027. It gathers a number of partners, more than 30 partners across 8 different nodes in Europe. So besides Italy, we have France, we've got Spain, Denmark, Sweden, Poland, and many other countries that are involved in this program. The network pools together facilities, real-world facilities, and therefore even fields that are equipped with digital devices, digital coverage, as well as greenhouses and other experimentation facilities where third-party companies can experiment and test their solutions, especially if they are AI and robotics related. So the target of the project is to help those companies, technology companies, make their products more robust and more capable of supporting the needs of the farmers. So we've seen through the many years before a lot of technology that has been produced. There's a lot of new assets that can indeed go in helping the farmers face the challenges. And this is a little bit why we are running this project and why the European Commission wanted to fund such instrument, because really there is a gap, there was and there still is a gap that we are trying to lower between people that are producing good technologies and the adoption by the farmers. So farmers are faced with the challenges of an agricultural sector being more and more complex to manage because of the many challenges coming from climate change, challenges coming from having less resources to produce more food, and therefore there needs to be a little bit more engagement from the help that they can get through the new technologies that are coming up. So the project sits at the cusp between the technology innovation and the agronomic sector. So we want to make sure that the tools that have been produced, such as IoT, artificial intelligence, robotics in the field, can indeed bring a concrete advantage and bring a concrete impact to the primary production sector in agriculture. And this is where digital skills come in then, because we have a situation where the farmers do not only have to manage what they see through their eyes and through their experience in the field, but they are empowered with much more opportunities for monitoring in time and in space what is happening in their field. And only by accessing those tools and having these extended eyes that the technology provides them, they can make more informed decisions and be supported in facing those challenges that we said.
Thank you very much, Raffaele. It was very clear and fully agree with all the challenges, especially on the digitalization side and the need to produce, to innovate in the agri-food sector, which can be supported by digital solutions, but also new technologies. But another important topic is also the challenge of upskilling the workforce, because otherwise this innovation will be stifled and there will be obstacle for farmers and their companies, especially, to actually use and implement these new technology solutions. So for the exploitation part, this needs a huge effort in training the workforce and especially upskilling on digital skills. That's also why we are here today. And for instance, the European Union is fully supporting through project the upskilling of the workforce. So for instance, I know that there is Geek for Food, a project co-coordinated by EIT Food, which leverage artificial intelligence and provides training programs to upskill and reskill the food sector workforce. So I know, Maarten, that you recently launched a platform called the G4F, Geek for Food Skills Platform, and you will be presenting that in an upcoming event for the Path for Skill Agri-Food. But today, could you please give us some previews, some insights, a sneak peek to this platform and what it will contain?
Yeah, thank you. So, and this is really the interesting bit for us, the way that we've been looking at, in particular, kind of the upskilling and reskilling agenda as a whole. So we've been looking at what is the labor force across the entire food system. So we're not just looking at agriculture necessarily or food manufacturing, but really all of the sectors that are involved in organizing and sort of the labor force in the entire food system. And so if you think about in the EU 27, that's if you count, depending on how you count it, we would be talking about around about 30 million people that are working into this sector. But if you look at the European geographical space, we're talking about close to 40 million that are already working in this. And so upskilling and reskilling of the people that are working sector is absolutely essential to get that innovation drive working. So for us, we've been working on a number of initiatives to actually kind of strengthen this space, but also to see how do you make these trainings accessible. So Geek for Food is for us in that sense a key building block for what we were doing, because we need to make sure that actually those vast numbers of people can assess where are they with their own skills, look at where is the labor market and where do we then and where do they need to sort of add in terms of training in order to be relevant for the job market, but also to make sure that they really have what the sector is, what different sectors are going to need for the transition. And so Geek for Food was designed with exactly that in mind, and what is a core piece of infrastructure that we need for this in order to do that linkage between the individual and their CV, the labor market that is there, but then also the skills provision that needs to come into this. And this is where we talk about both the green and the digital skills that go hand in hand, of course, because of the priorities there. And so the platform is very much oriented towards sort of individuals being able to upload their CV. The AI is actually scanning for particular kind of keywords in terms of how to identify particular kind of skills. And then it's also based on a vast, but we're talking about hundreds of millions of job vacancies that have been in the kind of the global sort of market in the food system already for over the last 10 years or so. And so we can do as a matching there for what is being looked for in by employers. And then you can basically start to identify the gap and then link it, of course, to a training portfolio of possible training. So, and this is one where actually we don't want to have ownership of all of the trainings. What we really would like to do is facilitate that if there are excellent trainings out there, to link them into this. So I think this is then also a tiny little call out, kind of if you're listening and you've got interesting trainings available in this space, then please get in touch with us because we then can see how can we add your sort of trainings and core offerings into our sort of model, and therefore make sure that we spread the kind of we spread the availability of the of those trainings throughout the entire space. Now, the other thing to mention here is the Geek for Food skills platform. Of course, we've built it very much with the European sort of space in mind. It really is about upskilling and reskilling the European space. But this is, of course, one where we also have to recognize that the food system is absolutely global in nature. And so even if there are people outside of Europe that would be willing to try this or to see where they are, then of course that is very much a possibility as well.
Thank you very much, Maarten. And I also relaunched the call for any users that are listening today or will listen in the next few days, the recording. Please do get in contact. Please check the links that my colleagues kindly put in the chat to know more about the projects, Geek for Food, AgrifoodTEF. And if you have any interest, but also learning programs that you would like to share, please do get in touch, even with EIT Food, with us, and AgrifoodTEF, so we can explore further synergies in the field, because it's very important also to coordinate the different action, especially if you funded to progress in the field and provide as many opportunities as possible in the agri-food sector. So speaking of best practices and also success stories in this agri-food sector, wanted to ask to Raffaele if you have any pilot projects or success stories that concretely demonstrate the project AgrifoodTEF impact on the ground. And do you have any success stories, particularly on the upskilling of the workforce?
Yes, so there's been a number of, so the project, as I said, has been running for 2.5 years, and we had a number of success stories of customers that come to AgrifoodTEF for our services. So the way this works is that the services that the companies use are transferred to them through the concept of state aid. So the companies actually, in the first instance, within this project, they get a service that is fully discounted, and that's the initial kind of break-in into the just market exploitation for their product. But what we do with our success stories is really support the farmers on a number of different fronts. Just to mention some of these success stories, we are helping the farmers to move more and more towards having more sustainable practices. Here we have the examples of Melixa, citing mostly the examples that we as Italian node are involved with, but of course there's much more to this than what I have the time to mention here. But for example, Melixa is a company that produces beehives that are equipped with sensors, and according to the activities of the bees, then you can have some environmental sustainability indicators of how well the neighborhood is doing from that point of view. We have supported, our first customer was GeoInference, and they produce AI that helps farmers while they are going with their tractors to do the treatment and work in the fields, get an inside snapshot of how the production is going. So they monitor apple orchards, counting the fruits, sizing them in terms of calibers, and producing an estimate of yield, as well as supporting agricultural manufacturing companies in adding the artificial intelligence to their machines, so that in this specific case they can provide immediate counting of how many apples have been produced in different sectors of the field. And this is again information that the farmers need in order to intervene as quickly as possible, also post-harvest or before harvest, to improve their crops. iFarming is another one that we are helping with smart irrigation solutions. And there as well, we are in a situation where we can reduce the amount of natural resources that are used to come to the same production and to quality production. So we are seeing more and more cases of automation that are stepping in to address, on the one hand, the need for comprehensive visibility of what's happening on the field, and on the other side, also the lack of labor. We see more and more automation going in the machinery side from a robotics perspective, where the farmers will have to not anymore only manage people, but will have more and more to manage machines, as well as apps, as well as solutions that indeed provide them a great help in order to make a difference in the future landscape that is being drafted as we go along for them. So this is a little bit the rationale of what we're doing, and indeed we see that more and more digital skills are needed, and this is where we welcome also farmers during our experimentations to give us feedback, to give us an important, let's say, contribution to make sure that then the companies that test their products with us, they also have first-hand information on what could be improved, what things are to be emphasized in their solutions, what aspects not necessarily improving the farmer's life, and just to have that kind of involvement that indeed also brings the up the digital skills of the farmers.
Thank you very much, Raffaele, especially for providing concrete examples and success stories in the field. It's very nice. I think today we covered in a very short time, but we discussed many of the different bits and pieces which are the most relevant in the agri-food sector. We started with the challenges and also the digital technologies that are enabling innovation in the field. Then we touched upon new projects and leading initiatives from both EIT, but also the EF that are leading activities and providing opportunities, innovation in the agri-food sector, touching also upon the challenge and also the all the relevant initiatives to improve the upskilling of the workforce, and then nicely closing with a few examples of success stories. So another important part, talking about upskilling and opportunities for training, are offered by the European Digital Skills and Job Platform, which is managed by the European Commission. And it is the central point, the central hub at European level for all the learning opportunities, training, but also resources and materials on digital skills. So such as these digital skills talks, they cover all different technologies and digital skills to actually use and implement this technology, with a particular focus also on AI, but also cybersecurity with the Cyber Skills Academy. And on the platform, you can also find all kinds of opportunities, even funding opportunities, news, learning courses, and all relevant resources for you or your organization. So this format, it's a monthly format, so stay tuned for the upcoming episode next month. And also another key highlight is, if you are interested in digital skills and funding opportunity, today the platform is organizing the Info Day, a large event collecting all the main stakeholders, and will provide more information on the Digital Europe calls on advanced digital skills. So it's tomorrow at 9. If you haven't done so, register and follow the event tomorrow. It would be a great opportunity to know more about the funding. So I take this opportunity as well to thank again our wonderful speakers. I think it was a very nice episode, a very good chat to start especially the day and be productive later. I thank also all those participants that connected, listened to us, or will listen to us later in the recording. And I wish everyone a lovely day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.